today. So, I can't thank the guys back at the shop enough. They've done a great job, Turner Sky Motorsports, and this whole Brant team has just been on a rail. So, looking forward to next week, trying to stay in the top 5, like I said, and go to the banquet and go represent our team well. And thanks to Nationwide Insurance, because this is the funnest race I think I've ever had at a short track.
All right, we're now joined by our third place finisher and NASCAR Nationwide Series points leader, Austin Dillon, driver of the number 3 Allgaier Chevrolet. Austin, you hold an 8-point lead over Sam Hornish Jr. heading into next week's race at Homestead. Just talk a little bit about your race and your hard-fought third place finish.
It was a good race. We had a good car all weekend long. That's what you want to do, is come out and run strong. And guys did a good job on pit road. We made no mistakes, and we do that one more week, we have a championship. And that's for all of us. We work as a team together and go out there and run well.
All right, we'll open for questions for Austin. All right, let's start right back here in the back with Michael.
Michael Knight, Arizona Republic. Austin, after 100 consecutive green lap run, there was these many sequence of yellows in the second half of the race. Did the track get considerably slicker, or was that just guys trying to go too hard on restarts on hard tires?
Yeah, I think it's just guys' cars not handling well. These things don't handle well at all out here. It's tough to get a car to feel good. Even though my car was pretty good and I finished second, it didn't drive well. It doesn't feel good out there on top of the new pavement and with the tire. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't drive well. So it makes you have to toughen up and go out there and drive these things.
All right, we'll go to Stan.
Austin, in the final 40 laps there, can you think of anything you could have done to your car to give you that extra 4 or 5 hundredths of a second that would have given you a better chance at running for the win?
I don't know. He's so fast there for 10 laps. It's tough to think of what it would be. I just needed to turn better. I needed to drive off the corner better. I need a little bit of everything. It's tough to say.
All right. Okay. Let's come up front to Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Were you upset with Justin because of the way he raced under the circumstances there?
Yeah, I'm not upset. We've raced hard all year long against each other. It's just, I don't know. I don't think like that. I guess it's just he's racing hard for top 5, and we've raced each other cleaner since the end of the year, so that's good. It's just we're both running for the same manufacturer and trying to win a championship for Chevrolet. So that's the way I look at it. But, it's part of it. He raced hard, and he's trying to get top 5 in points.
All right, we'll go up to front to Chris.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Austin, do you know what car you're taking to Homestead next weekend and where you ran it last?
Ran it at Charlotte, car 102.
All right. Any final questions for Austin? All right, Austin, congratulations on a great run and best of luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
We've now been joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 31 Brant Chevrolet, Justin Allgaier. Justin, a great solid run for your team here at Phoenix. Talk a little bit about your run and second place finish.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for us. We came here in the spring and finished third, battling the 54 and the 22, and obviously they had a heck of a battle today, and we're probably the 2 best cars in the field. We got shuffled back early and made our way back through as best we could, and had really good pit stops and great pit strategy. So Scott Zibidell and the boys did a great job. I'm very impressed with the race car we had this weekend, and obviously that gives us a lot of momentum going into next week at Homestead.
All right, we'll open for questions for Justin. Please state your name and affiliation. We're going to start up front with Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Justin, were you surprised that you were able to maintain on old tires as well as you did?
You know, that's something in practice. We ran a lot of laps on tires, and we kind of knew where the balance was, and it seemed like, this new left side tire that Goodyear brought obviously was a little tricky to figure out, but once you got it, it seemed to maintain speed very well. So I was more worried about just the restarts. You get in the wrong lane, and it doesn't take much to get shuffled back. And I was very fortunate that Kyle took the outside on the one restart he was leading, and kind of saved us a little bit there. But one of the things that the Nationwide Series is really tough. You only get one set of tires and to practice on, basically. And so bouncing back and forth between the Cup car and the Nationwide car, I feel like I learned a lot of things in practice today that really helped me out in the race this afternoon.
All right. Additional questions for Justin? All right, let's go to Stan.
Justin Stan Creekmore with RPM tonight. So what do you think Kyle had that just made him able to pass you as quickly and what appeared easily but probably was not on the restart?
More talent? No. I think the biggest thing is he took 2 tires there on that last caution. Even though we didn't see a whole lot of fall off, the area that I feel like we struggled the most was just on restarts, the old tires, and even when we took 2, we didn't fire off quite as well as what we would have liked to have. And Kyle's car just, pretty much on every restart that I watched, his car took off really good for the first lap, and then the next 2 or 3 laps he actually slowed down a little bit and then took back off again. So at that point, also I had watched the 54 and the 22 kind of check out on the field and watched how good they were. So there was no point in really pushing the issue and end up getting myself crashed or anything crazy like that. I just needed to get a good solid points day like we did, and it's frustrating to finish second to Kyle, obviously, but at the same time, they had their A game on today as usual, and they had the best car.
All right. Okay, we'll come back up front to Reed.
Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. What was the conversation between you and Austin after the race?
Yeah, the conversation was just obviously the last couple laps there we raced really hard, and he was. I think in his mind he thought I got into him a little bit coming off of turn 4, and obviously they're going for the championship, and I would never put myself or him in a situation where possibly alter that. But at the same time, obviously we're still trying to stay in that top 5 in points, and every point that you can gain nowadays is definitely worth it. So tried to pass him as clean as I could, and obviously we both finished the race, and no harm, no foul, and we'll move on and go to next week, and hopefully in some way there's a way that we can help them get the championship.
All right, we'll take our next question from the press box.
Wolfgang Monser from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. Justin, I think you drive for the same team like Piquet. He seems to be struggling the whole race. He told me he was not happy with the car before the start. Is there any kind of cooperation or advice you can give him for future races?
Actually, our whole team at Turner Scott Motorsports, we debriefed after every practice, and this tire, I spoke of it earlier, was definitely something that as a feel goes, for me, I felt right at home with this tire, and it obviously doesn't have the same feel or same characteristics for everybody and in every car. So, they were off just a little bit, but at the same time, they came back. I think they got 2 lucky dogs and got back on the lead lap. So I don't know where they ended up finishing, but Nelson does a great job, and we've seen it before. The guys that come over from Formula One and IndyCar, it's such a hard road, and I give him a lot of credit for sticking it out like he has and pushing hard, and definitely is trying to improve himself. So hopefully next time we come back here, he'll be right on par.
All right, additional questions downstairs? All right, congratulations, Justin, on your second place finish. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue our post-race media availability. We are joined by our fifth place driver in today's race, Sam Hornish Jr., who currently sits second in the NASCAR Nationwide Series points. He trails 8 points to Austin Dillon. So, Sam, a good, solid finish for you guys today, but a hard-fought race. So just talk a little bit about your race here at Phoenix.
For sure. It's been a hard-fought weekend for us. We thought going to Phoenix was going to be one of the high points on our calendar, and both races this year has been one that we've had to struggle real hard at, do some things that we may not do at other times, and try to put ourselves in position to get a good finish out of it. And we were really disappointed with the way that the car handled yesterday. Worked hard to try to make it a little bit better, and overnight it got better, but only about halfway there. And we never really got it as good as we needed to in the race, and had to use strategy to be able to get it and get up on the wheel and drive hard and all that good stuff.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Sam. If you can raise your hand and state your name and affiliation. Okay, we'll start with Stan.
So, Homestead's 7 days away. What do you do for 5 days before you get down to Homestead? And how ready is the team for the final race?
Well, I think we're ready. We started working on our car for it last week, so we got a little bit of head start because our Phoenix car was already on its way out here. I feel like we've got a great opportunity down there. 8 points is a little bit more than I would have liked to, had to overcome. But from the time that the race started today till lap 200, it's better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm real happy with the determination that everybody put up, and we got all talking on the radio and split second decision on what's going to happen. We were going to stay out, then everybody came, and I kind of half made the decision to stay out, and we were back and forth. Greg and I were on that, and you don't expect there to be 4 yellows to start that runoff and to allow Austin and a couple of those other guys to get up there, but we dug hard and only lost 2 points today. So for what it could have been, it was a pretty good day.
But what do you do for the next 5 days to relax, or do you not?
Well, you see, I got 2 little kids and a wife that's pregnant, so there's not a whole lot of relaxing right now. Tomorrow, I might get to sleep in until about 8:30, depending on what time I get home. We're going to go to church and probably go do lunch. And I told my wife, because the girls wanted to play in the leaves, so now I got to rake the yard tomorrow and make a big leaf pile that they can play in. So, that's my relaxation. That's what takes my mind off of the racing, and that's how I go and have fun. Monday is a day that's pretty much dedicated to taking my oldest daughter to school in the morning. Then I go to the shop and spend most of the rest of the day there, figure out what we did right or wrong at Phoenix, how we can be better when we go to Homestead, and have all of our team meetings. Tuesday, I'm flying to Orlando for an appearance for Alliance Truck Parts. Wednesday, I'm not even sure what's going to happen yet. And then Thursday morning, we got to leave bright and early to be able to go down there and do a bunch of different media availabilities. So a lot's going on next week, but I'm used to it. I've led a pretty busy life for quite a while, and I feel like my wife and kids are going to come next weekend. So that's awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it's a little bit bigger of a gap than what I wanted it to be, but I have the feeling that we can go down there and we can win the race and lead the most laps if we do the right things.
All right, let's come up to Chris, then we'll go to Bob, and then we'll take a question from the press box.
ChrisMyKitchens.com. Can you talk about your battle with Kenseth there at the end and how fun that was, and how fun it was, but how hard it was? And then do you know what chassis you're taking to Homestead next week?
I don't know what the chassis number is, but it was fun to race there with Matt. Matt's a champion, and he's also running for another championship this year, and just a great driver to be around. I really appreciate the way that he raced me. That's the good part about that. The other part is I know how good he is. So, he was working everything he could do to get around me. He was going to do it, right and clean, and wasn't going to wreck me to be able to get around me. And anytime that that I'm out there racing with him, I feel like I can learn something, from the way he races, and I enjoy it and appreciate the way that he raced me today.
All right, let's go to Bob.
Bob Hucker, Sporting News. Can you lean on your IndyCar champion experience, or is that too long ago to lean on?
Even back then, I just I went into the races and I did what I felt was necessary on those given days. And, Miami's going to be a little bit different weekend because it's kind of we got to go out there and we got to run really strong. But we also know that anything can happen. Tires go flat, people run out of gas, all that stuff. So we're going to go out there and we're going to treat it like just about, any other race that we've ran in this year. We're going to run hard. We're going to try to be strong, and we're going to obviously go there to compete. But we also know that we can do more at this time to hinder ourselves from winning the championship than we can do to help it by being overly aggressive.
All right, let's go across to the press box.
Sam Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. In the near future, whatever happened with your NASCAR career, is there maybe a realistic possibility or chance we see you in another motorsport category, for example, endurance racing?
Well, you never know. I've always been a person that you never say never, but I'm pretty well focused on trying to continue to make my way and to make this work on the NASCAR side of it. The level of racing here, the amount of talent, and the way that these races are run, it's extremely appealing to me because I feel like it commands me to work harder to be a better driver and a better person, and we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out.
All right, let's come up front to Reed Spencer.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Sam, after you guys stayed out on old tires and were able pretty much to keep that track position, it seemed like relative to the rest of the field, you were stronger on the older tires than maybe on newer tires, because I think Matt had 2 new right sides. Was it just better air, or did it change the balance of the car?
I think with the track starting to cool off a little bit, with the sun starting to set, I believe that helped us out a little bit. Plus, I just kind of hunkered in there and gave myself the best opportunity that I could to get a decent finish out of it. When you had that many restarts after you decide to stay out, you usually think it's a bad thing because it allows a lot of people to catch up to you and to get through traffic. With those sequential restarts. But I feel like we just dug in, did everything that we could do, and we got a good restart and was able to get around the 6th, which was pretty well imperative for us to be able to go out there and finish where we did.
All right, we'll take our final question from Jim Utter.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. You've obviously shown a lot of improvement over the last couple seasons. Do you feel you need the championship to kind of validate your NASCAR career, or do you think it kind of the performance kind of stands on its own?
I feel like I want to win the championship because at this point in time I don't know what the opportunities for me to win another one will be. So you got to go out there and work hard to try to get the best finishes and the best opportunity. But I don't feel like it completely validates it. I feel what this last year has shown is something that I've known for a while, that and it's just me being able to back it up with the results. We don't have as many wins as we'd like to at this point, but I feel like being able to go out there and race against top level Cup guys and to race the way that we did today and throughout the season, I feel pretty good about that. So I got my head held high on that one, and we're going to continue to work hard to try to figure out how to continue to be in the sport as long as I can.
All right, Sam, thank you for your time today, and congratulations on a great finish. All right.
Well, at least we get some peace and quiet for a while.
All right, we're going to roll into our post-race media availability with our race winner, Kyle Busch, and his race-winning crew chief, Adam Stevens, and team owner, J.D. Gibbs. Kyle, this was your 21st perfect driver rating. I know you like those. So just talk a little bit about your dominating performance here at Phoenix.
50? It was certainly a great day for us. You know, the Monster Energy Camry was really good, and it's a testament to Adam Stevens and the group of guys that he's got around us that do such a great job for us and work real hard and just give us some good equipment. You know, JD and Joe, of course, you know, putting their best foot forward as well too to get us out there, and you know, it's just fun for us. I mean, having a great car like that today certainly shows what this team is made of, and you know, it's unfortunate the circumstances we've kind of gone through this year to be in the predicament we are, but at least we have a fighting chance for next week to go after the Owners' Championship and keep that streak alive for Joe Gibbs Racing and what we're all about.
Adam, just talk a little bit about your race from the pit box and the calls on pit road and just kind of how you saw the race play out.
Yeah, the race played out. It was actually pretty straightforward for a change. We had such a long green flag run to start, which took a lot of the tire strategy out. It did get a little bit hairy when we had a quick call after that, and we decided to take two, knowing most people would, and we had a bit of a gap there. So it was a race of kind of managing your tires and your fuel. And this tire combination is just quite a bit different than what we had in the spring. Threw us for a loop a little bit in practice, but we all put our heads together and came up with a pretty good setup today.
Right. And JD, obviously the owner's points gap shrank during the race with a 4-point deficit between the 54 car and the 22 team. So just talk a little bit about going into Homestead, chasing that owner's championship.
No, it's exciting that we have a shot, you know, to win the owner's championship. And, you know, these guys, both these guys do so much for our race team. They make it look easy, but it's not easy what they do week in, week out. So I just appreciate what they do.
All right, we'll go ahead and open for questions for Kyle, Adam, or JD. All right, let's go ahead and start here in the middle.
How's it going, Kyle? Ryan O'Hara with Popular Speed. My question for you is, you know, earlier in the race, we saw Brett Keselowski on a restart slide in front of you, and you started to slip back just a little bit. Tell me, did that affect your car at all to get back to the front?
Yeah, it was definitely different in third than it was out front. Leading, you know, just the aero deficiencies that you have here at these flat mile racetracks like this. So it was certainly a little bit different, but I knew we had a really good car, and he had a good start, and I didn't have a very good start, and I don't remember who was second at that time. I think it was Harvick. Harvick got by me also. So it just took me a couple laps to get going, and once I got going, I seemed to get back in my rhythm, get back my momentum and everything, and then was able to get by him. You know, got by Harvick, of course, got by Brad, took the lead over again. So knew we had a really good car. Our car was fast, and it was good on the long runs as well, too. It seemed like we could sort of manipulate the speed a little bit to just protect our lead enough of what we had. But overall, I mean, it was a good race. And then when we came down pit road and a couple of guys took fuel only, a couple of guys didn't even come down, and we got back in traffic there. The restarts just worked out perfectly for me because it was like we went green, I picked off a spot, we went yellow. We went green, I picked off one or two more spots, we went yellow. You know, so every time I just kept picking off a car and the caution would come out, so it would just rebunch the field and give me another opportunity instead of having it spread out and take more laps to get back to the front. So it worked out real well for us in that situation.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's go to Stan and then Jenna.
Almost the same question, so I want this over towards the crew chief, if you will. Kyle made it look like it was just the easiest thing he's ever done, okay? Like eating whatever he's eating right now. It just was a matter of taking bites, okay? How difficult was this weekend, or how demanding was this weekend for you to put him in a car that made it look that easy?
Yeah, I tell you, if you read our practice notes, I don't think anybody would have guessed that we would have had such a dominant car. You know, we had a great car in the spring. Probably one of the most competitive cars we've had as a team together was our car in the spring, and it was that way when we unloaded. And we started close to what we raced with, but the left side tire being different, you know, what we brought here wasn't working too good. You know, so we had we made some major setup changes in practice and took a lot of time and tried to be smart about the different rubber on the racetrack and the effect that was going to have and gauging how the track was going to change through the weekend. So, he told me I needed to smile more after practice because I was concerned, just knowing that we were going to have to change a lot to make it right. But I felt like with the notebook we developed in the even last fall here, and again in the spring, and we pushed enough buttons in practice that we knew what to do going into the race. It was just having the confidence to do enough.
All right, we'll go to Jenna.
Jenna Fryer, AP. Kyle, last year winless in this series. This year you got 12. How badly do you want one next week to tie your career high 13? I don't know if it validates last year or not, but does it mean anything? And would tying that mark mean anything?
No, I mean, once you skip out on a year, that year's dead. So, whether I won 13 or 14 this year, I don't think it would have made up for last year's deficit of 0. So, it was a great year we had. We ran well. Things went not so great for us. That's the only thing that seemed to keep us out of the victory lane, was just things not going the way we needed them to go. It seemed like every time you thought you were in position, something would happen. So, just looking forward to the rest of this year. There's only one more left, but we look forward to going to Homestead. I feel like that's a place where we've run well at, myself in the past in the nationwide cars, and I think I led the most laps a couple years ago. We won. Last year I led the most laps. I finished second. And, this year we need to lead the most laps and win the race again to have a shot at winning the Owners' Championship.
All right, Chris, do you have a question?
CatchFence.com. It's been a Kyle Busch kind of weekend with Eric Jones last night winning the truck race and you today. And then obviously you're going to be a factor tomorrow. We expect you to be. I know you and Samantha were at dinner last night, but can you talk about last night what you were doing and did you talk to Eric last night at all or today and how proud you are of the KBM team?
Yeah, last night, we wish we were here, but sometimes also you want to have a real life and go out with friends that you get to visit here on the West Coast and spend some time away from the racetrack. But it was a great night. I spent driver intros here and got a chance to see Eric and his mom and dad, and of course was able to spend a few moments on pit road watching the race, the first part of it, and then I bailed out. But he did a great job. I mean, he was very poised behind the wheel. Rudy, I was able to debrief with Rudy a little bit today, and of course I debriefed with Eric last night, just tell him congratulations. And he seems to have a very good temperament on him, and of course he's also very smart, and he was very good at being able to bring home a win. He got back to second, but didn't worry about it, put his best effort forward and got back to the lead and was able to win the thing. So he looked really good, and I'm proud of everyone at Kyle Busch Motorsports that we've won with 2 rookies this year, with Darrell Wallace at Martinsville and now with Eric Jones this week at Homestead, or this week at Phoenix. And now we go to Homestead next week, trying to close out the season with another win with myself, and we'll see if we can't build on our program and look forward to the 2014 Tundra that we all get to see next year.
All right.
Kyle, Michael Myers with Gears for Gears. During the race, Denny was watching, and he tweeted he was trying to learn something, but he said he thought it was time that they ground the surface here at Phoenix. So wanted to get your take on how the track has weathered in the few seasons since they repaved, and do you think the solution would be in something that drastic, or could it be just with the tire?
I think we tried that once. We screwed it up really bad at Martinsville. So I don't recommend a grind. I mean, certainly it would be nice if there was a way that we could do something different where, it would be a little more racier, that you could actually run around the place and try different grooves and be able to pass and whatnot. But, when everybody runs right around the bottom of the racetrack, it's the shortest distance around at a flat racetrack like this. That's all you do. Loudon's sort of the same way, Loudon's even has progressive banking. It's flat, and then it's banked, and then it's banked a little more, and you see us run right in the middle. Here, it's progressively banked, but we're all running around the bottom right now because there's just so much grip. And, I think it's going to take, for as good as asphalt is these days, Jeff Gordon's commented on it too. It takes 8-10 years for it to weather enough to where you can see some pretty good racing. And, whether we have that long here or not is debatable, but, certainly – it would be more fun if there were more options than just being stuck on the bottom running one groove.
All right, let's come up front to Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Kyle, with 2 young drivers who are not you in the truck winning, in 2 out of 3 weeks. How helpful is that to you and to KBM in terms of the sponsorship conversation? And, how much will that help the organization?
Well, you would hope that it would be rewarding, very rewarding, that it shows that our team is capable of running up front, capable of winning with younger drivers, younger talent, not just Cup guys like myself or Denny. Brian Scott won here last year, so he was kind of our first non-Cup driver to win, and then we have Darrell, and then we have Eric now. So I think it proves our capabilities and what KBM's all about. And, we've understood and now recognize that the trucks is a capable playground for us that we can be competitive at. Nationwide, unfortunately, it's a little frustrating with Joe Gibbs Racing and Penske Racing, and I'm a part of one of those, so it's hard to be competitive at that level. But we feel like we've got a good handle on the trucks, and that's where we're going to put our focus. And we're really looking forward to bringing Darrell back next year. It's not final yet, but we're close, and looking to have 2 of those trucks. And like I said, really focus on that effort and making sure that we've got the best trucks in the business, and try to funnel some young drivers through there and on to Joe Gibbs Racing, and I'll certainly charge my 10% after that.
You think you'll have more races for Eric as well?
Yeah. Next year the plan's to be the same. My idea in the grand scheme of things in a perfect world would be me run 10 to 12, and then Eric Jones fill in the rest 10 to 12, whatever those racetracks are that he can run mile and under, and however the schedule lays out. And then, see Darrell full-time in a 54 truck.
All right, let's go back to Ryan and then Chris.
Hey, Kyle, Ryan again. Just bringing up the surface here at Phoenix. When when the track was originally repaved to add the dog leg, what was your initial reaction? And now after racing on it for many races, what is your opinion now? Did you like the idea at first?
When I first came here and saw the racetrack, I was one of the first guys that came to do the tire test out here. And when we all showed up, literally, we were all like, OMG, WTF. And, that was all of us. We all said the same thing. We all looked at each other like, are we serious right now? And, the first couple races on it, too, we were all like, this is the stupidest thing ever. And it's probably not so bad now, but I think it's just because something new wears off, and it's not that big a deal right now. It's certainly interesting when you go over there. It's really rough, and coming down the different banking angles and changes, it really slams the splitter and the side skirts and things, and you got to be careful with all that. But, it is what it is now. I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon, so we all learn to deal with it.
All right, let's take our final question from Chris.
Chris Knight, fans, going back again to the truck series deal. Chad Hockenbrough said that he's learned so much from KBM team. Make sure I just know that you talk about Bubba and Eric, and does Chad Hockenbrough fit in those plans, and did you enjoy working with him this season too?
No, I did. I enjoyed working with Joey Coulter as well too. I felt like Joey was a good addition, having another full-time team that was a consistent driver each and every week that Darrell can lean on because he was in the same position, and they could learn some things together. And I think they did that, and having the leadership of 3 great crew chiefs over there, Rudy being a rookie crew chief but scoring the most wins this year, I thought was interesting. And of course, Jerry having the experience he does with Bubba, I thought they come along really well, and they've certainly shown a lot more consistency in running up front here lately. And Chad Hockenbrough, he did a good job. I mean, he ran second at the road course, which no one really probably expected to see. And he had a couple struggles. His first race at Texas, I mean, we were just out of the ballpark, I think. But he ran a lot better at Vegas, the second, his other race that he ran. And I'm missing the fourth one. I think he ran 4. But all in all, I mean, he did a good job. He learned some things. The trucks are a whole different animal. And when you're only running a few races like he is a year, it's certainly hard to keep the consistency of being in a vehicle each and every week. But given all things considering, I thought he did well.
All right, we'll take our final question from Stan.
All right, JD, enough from the employees. Let's hear from the boss. You're next week, you're going down to Homestead. You're looking at 2 possible car owner championships and 1 Sprint Cup championship. So we know they're going to be busy during this week. How busy will this be for you to go down there with that much possibility?
I first want to say he called me the boss, Dad. So just so you know. Oh yeah.
Does that mean you get Kyle or you keep Kyle?
So I think it's just from an owner standpoint, it's just stressful.
He's the boss. We all got to work for free.
Well, it's just all the things that can happen. We've been there before. We've won championships. We've lost championships. So it's just a lot of stuff that goes on. So I am thankful that I'm not allowed to touch any of the equipment or any of the cars, and I can just sit on the side and stress.
All right. Congratulations on another victory, and we'll see you guys next week in Homestead.
Way to go, Kyle.
Thanks, brother.
The driver of the number 82 has been evaluated and released from the Infield Care Center. The driver of the number 82 has been evaluated and released from the Infield Care Center.
Oh, I hate it, man.
I'll be around. I'll be around.
All right, well, come see us if you ever come around.
Oh, I definitely will. It's been great working with you.
Thank you. Same here. Appreciate it, bud.